tune in, hear all to say, but watch it real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above, and if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch real close, and when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch real close, and when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures, 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 we paint miniatures.
Shoshie from Shoshie's Minis. Welcome everybody. It has been a minute. I'm going to start my little chill tracks here. 1 second. I forgot to put up my music. How is everybody? Right now, hold on 1 second. I'm going to get into chat with Batalure. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Turn that down just a smidge. Alright, now I'm gonna invite Bachelor into the chat. He's in Discord with me. Alright. There we go. Say hello, Bachelor.
Hi, Shoshie, alright?
Alright, I'm alright. Alright, I think we're all set. Just give me 1 more second to put the link into the there's another Kingdom Death Discord that I want to put this link into. I'm just not sure where. I'll put it in general. I don't know where else to put this.
That's in the wrong place.
Somebody will see it. Show you guys I got brand new cameras I'm super excited about. Look at this overhead. Ta-da! How nice is that? Look, there's
definitely
yeah,
definitely better than it was before.
Yeah.
A lot
you'll be able
clearer.
to I'll be able to see it better. You'll be able to see it better. Let me show you what a small mini looks like. Let me see if I have one handy. Of course I don't have one handy. Yes, I do. Here's one. Here's one of my new ElfQuest minis. Here's a smaller mini. And even that's really nice and clear. These ElfQuest minis are itty bitty. Oh my gosh, that's really good clarity. You can see how small this is too. Like, here's my thumb. And that's how well you guys are going to be able to see this. Yay, Steven, hello.
So much better.
Welcome. Alright, I'm going to minimize this so I can see you guys. Alright, we're all set. That really small. There. Alright, we're ready to paint. I've got Aya, and I've got her art card, and I've already got Schmutz on her art card. Fun. It's just water.
Another strike against you for Schmutz.
I know. There we go. I'm gonna start with her skin, and then we're gonna move out to looks like this cloth that's on the underneath, and we're gonna paint each layer from the inside to the outside. And feel free to ask questions too. So I'm gonna pull this back just a smidge so you can see this is the new Redgrass Games Painters palette that I have. It is really sturdy and nice.
It's a little bit bigger than the old one.
It is. It's a little bit bigger, and it has, instead of magnets, which I actually like this much better on the wavy and on the, so both the wavy, and this is for like wash pots. Hold on, I'm gonna turn that music down. It's driving me crazy.
We can't.
You can't. Is it too
I
loud
know,
for
it's
you?
alright.
Okay.
No, it's because I'm mute. Yeah.
Here, there we go. I'm gonna turn it down just a smidge. Anyway, it just slides right on both sides, and there's actually every side you can potentially put a different one, and so you can have these, and they're all so they won't come off like the magnets. So this is one of the reasons why I am sponsored by Redgrass Games, is because it doesn't matter if they've already put out a good product that sells. They're constantly trying to improve it. They're constantly trying to improve, and they're just going to make eventually the best palette out there. So I don't know if you can see this, but on the back there's these little divots, so it'll sit here on your lid. Nice. Raise that up a little bit. All right, now I'm going to lower this back down a little bit more. And Bachelor's going to help me. He's going to rechat for me, and he's also going to let me know if I'm off camera and stuff. Oh, I just found a big old piece of something on the top of her head. It looks like, well, I can't tell. Yeah, it's a piece of like where the screw was. Hold on.
I think you just knocked your mic.
I think I knocked. There, you're right. See, this is why I have you here. This is really good. This is going to work out. There we go. Okay, I've got that little piece cut off her head now. I can start painting. Alright, I have my Monument Hobbies brushes. This one is one of their Bombwick Igniters. It's a Kolinsky brush. I got paint, Schmutz. It looks like a number 2. I don't want to... Yeah, it's a number 2. And I'm going to put... What am I going to start with? Okay, I'm going to start with just a smidge of green. As I do, I think I want to use camo green. This one is dark camo green. I'm going to put that on my palette, and I'm just going to thin it out. I'll show you so you can see it's on the palette here. This paper is a different kind of paper than they've used in the past, and it will actually, you can wash it off. It's reusable paper. It's more like... What?
Have you tried reusing the paper?
I haven't, because I'm lazy. But I've seen Electric Eve do it. And it seems to work good for her. So I'm thinning it out. So this is the water to paint ratio. I'm gonna go ahead. It's actually too watery. It's just sliding right over the model. Let's try this. A little bit more paint this time. Yeah, that's better. I want enough paint that I can see the paint, but not so much that I can't just spread it over the model easily. Yeah.
More like a stain or a tint than a...
Right, a glaze of sorts, and it doesn't need to be super smooth at this point because we're going to be going over it. This is going to end up being our shadow color for her skin. So it's better to have it darker and thicker in the recesses. You can see so much better, can't you? I really like this. These cameras are so nice.
They're 100% better than they were before.
I agree. And I can see the model better too because of the way I got the camera situated. I haven't had a setup like this in a long time. More paint. I believe she's got some kind of stocking right there, so there's like a... This is going to be a nice, relaxing stream, too.
I'm used to after the last 2 days of cold.
I know, same. Alright, I got a little bit too thick there, but that's okay. We're going to water it down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we got our green on there. This is going to be real similar. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want another video that has actually even more skin and a better tutorial, my Flower Witch video, it's one of my top most watched videos that I have on YouTube, is a great video to watch. It's about the same size figure as this one too. Alright, I'm going to be careful about her face. I want actually this to be thin, or, oh, you know what I'm going to try? Not this. They have a new glaze medium. Acryl does. Glaze and wash. So I'm going to mix my paint with this, so maybe it will be... Let's try it.
I'll let you be my guinea pig because I've got that as well. I've used it.
I haven't. Okay, so what it does is it lets you thin stuff out. You can see the water does something different with it. It's like it adds extra body to the paint. So I'm gonna just push little bits of this into her face. I'm gonna go over her eyes even. Alright, now I'm gonna rinse my brush and just with water push this around to give it that tint what we were talking about before. And I just found, is that a piece of hair? I'm just gonna leave that. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that like that, and then her fingers. Same thing with the glaze.
Is there a particular reason you're using green?
Yes, and I will explain that once I start the next color. But what happens is, with Caucasian skin, is you've got all these undertones that you want to add in and then glaze over so that you get that kind of... Because when we look at our skin, we don't have opaque skin, we have a translucent skin. And that's what we're kind of trying to mimic. And I'm using an old technique called Verdaccio. It's an old Italian Renaissance technique they did for portraiture and for, well, they also did it on, what's the name of that? Where they painted onto plaster. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Ugh, it's gonna bug me.
You must bug me. Shoshie.
That's actually where it started, was when they would paint on that plaster. All right, so now I need
murals.
Yes, murals, exactly. So I'm getting out 3 different colors of skin tones. I want to actually make a real light skin tone for her. So this time I'm going to, this is my maybe dark, medium, and then we'll use, let's see if I have a lighter, even lighter one. Regular pink. I don't want pink. I want it's fresh. Here we go. This one's called Warm Flesh. So these are very different. Actually, we'll do that. Oh, and I'm going to mix these because that's really a little bit too yellow. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this here. On my palette, this is going to be, my darkest color is this Tan Flesh. Oh, you know what? I bet this is a brand new bottle. Yep, it's not even been opened yet. Hi, Matt. Mike, your cousin Matt is on. He says cool. Alright. What do you think of the new camera setup, Matt? Alright, we got first our darkest color. We don't have a lot of skin on her, so I'm not going to put a lot of paint on there. Alright, and then we're going to put some of this pale pink. Oh, and it's probably plugged up. Yep. I got this little sewing awl thing, and I got it at, like, I don't know, it was a garage sale or something, and it's been really handy. There we go. And our warm yellow. There we go. And you know what pink and yellow make, right? Pink is a tint. Yeah, pink is a tint of red, and yellow, or this pale yellow, is a tint of yellow. And when you mix them together, you get a pale peach. So, let's see what happens here when we make our mix. Yeah, we're all good. Thank you. There we go. So I mixed those two together to get a lighter peach. And then we're going to take some yellow down here. Yeah, that looks good. We'll mix those together to get our gradient. So you guys can see the light to dark to light to dark. And I might actually put in Ivory as a final highlight as well. If I can find one.
Is that because it doesn't get as chalky as the white screen?
Yes, yes, exactly. You're exactly right. And I'm not a fan of chalky whites either. Alright, here's a bright Ivory. It's almost empty. I need to order some more.
Steven just wants to.
Hi, Steven. We've got another Steven. 2 Stevens. How are you? We're in the process of painting Death Aya. There we go. If I can get some paint out, we might just need to scoop it out because this is an old bottle. Look at that. There's almost none left. I'm going to use an old brush. Okay, that's better. That is really bright compared to those, so that will probably end up being our highlight. Let's see what happens when we do this. Yeah, that's really bright. Let's have a little bit more of that warm Doing well. Always excited to see KDM models painted. Look at this. You'll be able to see her really well because I have new cameras. All right, taking my glasses off so that's going to read for me. I'm going to start out with the darkest color that I have. And I also have some of this Glaze medium I might end up pulling with. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to use it yet. Make sure I'm underneath my camera well. So rather than water, I'm going to try to use this Glaze and see what happens. So you see how I'm just starting on the raised parts. I'm leaving the recesses in that green, and look at right there already. You can kind of see a difference as I'm pushing around the paint. That dry. I don't want to mess with it until it's totally dry. And we're going to start with we're going to add a little bit of green to our base color. Watch. I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. So there's my green. And then here's my skin color. So I get this kind of muddy green color. A little bit more green to that. Just a smidge. Because we're going to layer this up slow.
So it's going to be anywhere with the shadows and others.
Right. So, and I forgot to tell you that there's a whole part of her leg here that's going to have some OSL to it, which I completely forgot about. So we might have to go back and put that in. Whenever I need to blend, I'm going to grab some more green and add that to my, and just wiggle that into the new color.
Is this a new KDM model, Shoshie, or is it?
Yeah, it's fairly new. I don't know when exactly she came out, but I got her not too long ago. So I just added some more peach. The paint is still wet. It's probably because I've got this lovely glaze medium to help keep it wet, because matte paints dry quick.
Literally wet blending.
Exactly. When you've got such a big smooth surface like this, wet blending can be really fast. And like I said, you can go back with it with the green if you got it too light. I'm not going to worry too much if I get it too light at this point, because it's still in that kind of gray stage still.
One of the issues I always find is dry too quick and trying to wet blend.
Right. Okay.
Turns into a nightmare.
Now, because of that area where she's got a lantern on her leg, I'm going to just add a smidge of this warm yellow. I'm just going to pop this in here like this, like, oh, we don't get to see. Hold on, see. Here we go. Sorry, I was holding it too far away this time. Okay, so I've got the color in here, and I'm just going to wiggle that into the color that's already there with that's already wet. See, it's already drying on the inside of her leg. So I'm going to add some more glaze. Let's see, add. I'm going to let this dry. Having this out here too. over some of the spots where I'm trying to feather away the brush strokes.
Is this easier or harder than that monochromatic one that you did not see?
Oh, the monochromatic was so painfully hard for me. This is way easier because I feel like with the monochromatic it's less forgiving with the blending because you're either going to get it blended or not. With this, the different colors overlapped with each other is going to kind of, your eye can only like see so much at one time and see so much information at one time. So with the different overlappings, it ends up being a less, you know, you don't focus on it as much when there's a little mistake or something.
Right.
Okay, now I'm going to blend that in with the green on this side here. Now we're using thin enough layers. I mean, everything is a little bit thinned out. It's either thinned out with water or with the glaze medium. And so because it's so thin, you can layer and layer and layer and still have paint on it without it looking gloppy.
Right.
Okay, there we go. Oh, let me make sure my music's still going. I think it is. Oh, it's got a long outro. That's why. Okay. Now, just a smidge of this yellow here. Oop, see too much water? It's just blurped everywhere. I've got a paper towel over here, and I'm just dabbing it on the paper towel every now and then to control how much water and how much paint is in my brush. So now I'm using some of the water that's on her leg to my advantage to kind of swoosh this around. Okay. That's dry. You can tell that that's bone dry. It's matte too. I will tell you this, skin always looks a little weird to me when it's matte. So we may go in here and add some kind of medium to it. We got a follower. So yeah, we might add a medium to make it look less matte later. Like maybe some of this lamy medium. Oh, this is contrast medium. Sorry, I have lamy medium somewhere else. Where's my lamy? White. Well, I'll find it. The other nice thing about my new setup is that I can see all my paints much better. And I don't see my lamy. But I could use the contrast medium as well, potentially. We'll have to see. Alright, so that's dry. Now I'm going to take more peach, add it to my mix here, so we get an even lighter. I'm going to add that medium I have. There we go. Add more here because the light that's supposed to be there. And I'm going to take the color from the color behind it and just start to feather that so that my brush marks are gone.
On the OSL, because especially on that one, which you got 2 light sources.
Yeah, there's going to be a light source down here and a light source here, and then ambient light around her face too, so her face won't be in the dark. That's drying too. You can see lighter colors take a little longer to dry. I just found a cat hair on her leg. Let me see if I can get it out before it dries too much. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with that on the chin and the upper lip. She's got a very childlike face. It's that anime look. The next stage. Now we're going to take a little bit more peach. I'm going to use that medium to feather that out in a glaze instead of water.
It's just the ordinary glaze and wash medium from Acryl.
Yeah, exactly. See how pretty that is? It's already looking like skin. A little bit more. So I put the paint down, and then I rinse my brush, and then I grab some of the medium by itself, dab it a little bit so that I don't have too much, and I'm feathering that. Ooh, do you see how I rubbed a hole into her leg right there? That's the downside. This has already started to dry a little bit. When it started to dry like that, best thing to do is to just feather it quickly or just let it sit up so that it's able to dry. So you can kind of go back and forth with the green and the peach until you get the right. Okay, now I need that medium. Just to keep it from having these crispy edges. Get a little bit more green over here because like I said, back and forth. It's kind of a dance. All right, do you see how on this top of her leg it looks kind of like chunky paint? So I need to let that dry and not mess with it. We're going to go back over here. It's still kind of in a semi-dry state as well. That's the thing about the mediums, it slows down the drying time, which is also what makes it easier to do the layers.
Oh, there's some of the mediums like this, the actual slow dry ones, which
Right.
if you're not careful can lift the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll lift it. It'll reactivate. This is my first time really painting hardcore with Slow Fuse's Acryl glaze, but so far I don't think I'm going to have the same problem. We'll see. And if we do, I know how to work with it. Alright, there we go. So we're getting skin and legs. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this yellow. See if we can add some medium. Definitely wet blending. And it takes time to learn to do this. Just be patient with yourself. And here I am, experimenting with brand new things. So, and also trying to show you how I'm just kind of winging it to get the result I want. So, take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
Okay.
patience is not my fault.
Alright. Let's go back to her face. I'm going to go go to the pinkish color now. So again, the trick is to keep letting it dry in between. Okay, real quick, I want to show you some tips on highlighting the face. I want to show you using my own face. So, wrong one. There we go. There. So, when you're looking at my face, you can see just even from the lights above me, right here, this is where the light is really hitting. And so, and like you can see, I have very deep set eyes, so I've got really dark circles too. And so then there's shadow here and here. And so these are the areas that you're going to not be painting because you want those to look more recessed. So the more those are darker, the more recessed they go. And then you highlight the cheeks, the brow, you know, here like these, I think this is called occipital bone, but I'm not sure. But right below the eyebrows, but above the eyelids, the end of the nose is the lightest part. So, but I'm sort of still in a mid stage with her. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and go to the ivory. Mix that with a little bit of that pinky color. I'll show you what I mean about the nose. This glaze medium. Oh, too much water, flooded. So when that happens, I'll dry off my brush real quick and I'll just soak it up with the actual brush. And then I'll go back and let that sit, let that dry, because I don't want it, if I go back into it while it is wet. So can I see something? There's a light area. On her top lip. Under that eye, and then her chin. Let it dry a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go back in to her eye with the green. I lost some of it. That dark. Because she's 3D printed, some of her features are a little bit fuzzy. That is dry. To grab some Regency flesh. This is it right here. What this is going to do, when I put this over some of our skin, it's going to create kind of a layer, like a filter layer. Start it where it's dark. These rings. And then just spread it over her skin here. Water. Looks like it might have reactivated a tiny bit. Not too bad. Okay, so that also, because of the way this wash works, hopefully it will give us a little less matte effect. So with that reddish color that's in the wash also blends with the green and makes it look more like it's just shadowed skin.
Yeah, you did apply it very thin.
I'm doing it over all of the skin and the green at once. Alright, but everything needs to dry completely now. So we're going to let that dry, not mess with it, and go to something else. So I'm going to go to her, oh, I still got water on this, dang it. She's got this cloth, breech clout kind of thing underneath her armor that we're going to go to. And I have burnt red, again from Rogue Pro. Maybe another new bottle. Yep. There we go. So let's switch brushes. This is the same brush. This is a Pro. This is one of their synthetics, so the little brush here is a little more stiff and not quite as ringy, although this one needs washing. It doesn't have a point to it, so I'm going to switch again. Looks like it might need some new brushes. There's a rosemary company. Let me try that one. Look at that. That's the worst point. It's not the brush's fault. It's mine. There. That's better. Much better. Okay. So I'm going to start with this card. I'm going to start with the collar. And I want to show you a trick that I learned from a drawing class when you're coloring things in. So go around the edge of the thing that you're trying to color, and it will give you much more crisp. Go slow around the edge of the thing that you're trying to color. To make a little outline. And then go fast in the middle. Just like that. Boom. And it looks really crisp. You don't have to go back and fix mistakes as much. Same thing here.
That's a useful little tip.
Say that again?
I say it's a useful little tip.
Yes. And it works for everything. It works for coloring with markers, with paint, everything. Okay, and the last bit is this skirt. Now here on this thing, I can use much, like, not even water down the paint at all if I want. This is going to be covering the whole thing. This model is from my own personal collection. I just painted some of it on, but that's okay because I can go fix that later.
Some of these models, it's hard to tell where one thing starts and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened with this. Alright, now I'm gonna flip. Oops.
Especially on one of your models. Must be one of
Right,
the only ones.
exactly. Yeah, on my own model, I paint the back. That's a neat piece. So you may not know this if you're watching this at home. I am lazy, and a lot of times when I'm streaming, I don't like to paint the back of things because I feel like nobody is interested in watching me paint the back. That's more cool. I imagine that because this is King Death model, that I'm gonna give her some like scratches or little, scars or something on her legs because it's King Death. You don't get into King Death without a little bit of scratch. Right, that's good. Now also her hair will have this color as well, but if you look at the picture, it's an undertone. And it'll be one of the darker layers, so go ahead and start painting that. That will also help me find the base color too. I'll get some on her armor, but I'll fix that. This is why we do these in layers. Inside layers first and then paint over the other stuff later. I'm really slow around her face because I don't want to get any of this red paint on her face. It'd be really hard to remove. She's like an anime style character, we can be a little bit less realistic and more solid with the colors and exaggerate like the kind of cartooniness of her a little bit. It's a lot easier for me to stay on cam, isn't it?
It is. You're not interested.
I'm not what?
You're not drifting
I'm
up
not
and down.
drifting, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's just so much easier. Before I have this new arm that has a ring light on it actually, and so it directly puts light on the model. Before I had just a camera and it was always in my way when I was trying to paint. It was so frustrating. People don't think about the practicalities of how difficult it can be for streamers.
Purple Spy Dreaming says the music's drowning out your voice.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can turn that down just a bit. Is that better? I think it sounds better to me, but I can't tell what it sounds like for you guys, so let me know. There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a delay.
And I also didn't have my mic close enough to me either, so that was the other reason. That's better, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yay. Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. I really do. I appreciate those kinds of things because I don't always know what's happening. That's the advantage to having a stream rather than just watching a recorded YouTube video, because I can fix it in the moment. not have to edit. You know what? I have to say, I'm not a fan of the 3D printed models, but I am not hating this. I really actually think it's going to look pretty awesome once it's painted. I'm pretty impressed so far.
There's so many variables with the 3D printed stuff. It's down to the quality of the resin, the speed at which people do things, let it cure properly, and all that kind of stuff.
So there we go, though. Make sure lots of little spots. And go back and do another layer on this. Oh, see, I missed a whole spot over here. It is a little trickier with 3D printed stuff than some models, because it can be a little bit difficult to get to everything because it's all printed in one piece. Thankfully, they printed the arms separate, so that will actually make it easier to paint her body. All right, we're now ready. You can see as it dried, that little bit of Reikland flesh shade, you can't even really see it anymore, hardly at all. So now I'm going to start layering some more peach.
The music is still a little bit loud. Sure.
Still a little bit loud. Okay, hold on. I think it's the OBS. Let me see that. Is that better? I took it way down that time. Now my voice should be louder than the desktop audio. Might have to work with the settings later. Hello, Purple Aspired Dreaming. Tell me if you think it's better, Bachelor.
It is.
Okay.
It depends on what other people are getting, but it sounds better to me.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, I had to switch where I was listening from.
That's right, because you don't hear you're not hearing the desktop audio unless you switch into it.
That's right.
Okay, so I added more of the peach. And you can see that green is slowly starting to disappear, but it's there, it's underneath.
Purple Aspired Dreaming just said yes, it's better.
Okay, much better. Awesome. Well, thank you again for letting me know. All right, so once we have that little layer of the Reikland on there, it kind of changes. Okay, this is going to be needing more paint. It changes the way the paint goes on top too a little bit. Like I said, it adds a layer of something that makes it feel more like skin.
Basically, turns it more into a satin, I guess.
A little bit, yeah. So now I'm just kind of slowly blending that into the green there. I need to let that dry, and then I'm going to probably do another layer over that to smooth out.
If people only have matte paints, could you put a satin varnish over it, or?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would just use a bottled satin varnish And just do it on the skin only, not on a whole, like not, don't spray it or anything.
Right.
You can also add a satin medium, which it would probably actually work better because it would blend much nicer.
Right.
Okay. Going into each one of these little circles. I need some green because some of it is shadowed. I have some cool news. At the end of January, I'm going to be doing a really special live stream. Those ElfQuest minis that you saw that I had, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to paint some of those. And it's going to be a live stream, but it's also going to be with the person who does the ElfQuest social media is going to be like in there, and he's going to be interviewing me. But if anybody who knows me, you might know that I'm a huge ElfQuest fan. So when I'm doing these little rings, I'm trying to keep the majority of the paint at the top because I imagine that there's a little shadow cast by the ring. So that's really nice and 3D looking. All right, I need just a smidge of burgundy, mahogany. I forget that their burgundy is called mahogany. You love how you painted her things that have subtle looks of fat rolling gracefully over a foundation of muscle. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Let's take a little bit of this mahogany. And the mahogany again is going to act similarly. I'm going to do a little dark line underneath these chains with the mahogany and then blend it out into the skin a little bit. See that? Just a smidge here. Just a thin glaze of this mahogany. I'm doing the same thing that was done. It's very thin. It's almost entirely water actually, but it's just knocking back that chalky skin look that I have going on. That's the problem with painting again with matte, is you get that chalkiness with lighter colors because all the lighter colors have some white in them. Let's do this on her face too. Around her hairline, especially with the mahogany. And in her eye sockets. Okay. There is a tiny, there we go, soften that line, it's kind of hard. Much better. There we go. Okay, let me put my glasses on and take a look at her from a distance. Okay, it's getting there. Her face is like a lot lighter than her skin, which means I need to add, it's okay, a little bit more shadow then. And mix the peach color with mahogany so I get a dark shadow. There we go. So I still have that peach in there, but I have a little bit of mahogany to make it a little darker. That is much better, much better. I'm much happier with that. We're gonna eventually have to get in there with the lighter colors again, but I may have to airbrush that. Let's see. I can see a little bit of a print. It almost looks like a thumbprint on her side of her leg. It's from the print lines of the model. Okay, just a smidge of mahogany on her face. And she sort of has like a blush of color. That's what's missing. I'm going to give a little bit more red from the burnt red. Do a little bit across the bridge of her nose too. Cute. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I'm looking at her lips. I'm gonna go ahead and use this red. I'm just painting the bottom lip with the burnt red. There we go. Get a little bit of this lighter color here. I'm kind of just doing tiny little dots, like little, not quite stippling, but almost, to blend it. And her top lip, I'm going to paint with the burgundy very, very carefully. I'm going to make it a little bit fuller so she looks a little bit more mature. This is where my artistic license comes in, because she doesn't really have much of a top lip in the art or on the model. Okay. And again with the burgundy on her eyes. This is just on the sockets of the eyes for now. Also with the burgundy, I'm going to come in here and paint down some of the shadows of the burnt red. What's nice about this burgundy and the burnt red is that they're really in the same family, so you don't have to do much. To blend.
It's amazing the difference just those two colours make to the face.
Yeah. So I'm painting here where there's a bend in the hair. These little shadowed spots where if hair is over one hair, I'm going to paint the shadow down. There's a big crease that's going to have some nice burgundy in it. So this is different than painting highlights. Sometimes painting down is a little easier than painting up. You're leaving the highlights light and just painting in your shadows. But again, it works well when you have colors that are really close to each other in the same family. Even that, look at what a difference that made. Let's see what happens when we put some on the cloth here. Now take the brush. This is something I learned when I used to paint War Machine, is just wiggle that on the sides. This is a version of true brush blending is what I'm doing. You'd put down the color of the shadow, and then I usually only use one brush, but then you blend it out. Forgot I used to paint like this. It's been so long since I used this technique. But I remember now how much I liked it back then, because it's so fast and it's so easy. You basically paint your base color and then you shade down and then do one highlight and boom. You know, it's like super fast. Just look at that. Right?
You just using water or using medium as well?
Yeah. Now in the two brush blending you use spit, but I don't do that anymore because I don't think that it's very safe to lick your brush as a. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, painting in my shadows. Basically looking to see where are the shadows already. And then I get my water and I feather it out with the water. Let's do darken here. Wait, I missed a spot. There we go. And again. Look at the cloak though. And now watch what's going to happen when I put a little bit of a highlight. So let's see, what would be a good highlight for this? Okay, so I think I'm gonna mix. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna mix actually the burgundy that I have. I have a burgundy that might be nice. Or sorry, yeah, because they actually have a burgundy now. That's right. Or ooh, dark flesh. Let me see what this color. This is more of a brown. This is probably more of a. 1 second. Burnt red. Burnt sienna. This has a little orange in it, so it might not work for what I want, but if I mix it with my original color, I might get the right color.
Don't forget to hydrate and stretch. Been going for an hour.
Don't forget to what?
Hydrate and stretch, because you've been going for an hour.
Oh yeah, thank you. I will do that in a second. Okay. New paints. I got a bunch of new Acryl paints. Okay, so this is slightly lighter. Again, I'm not sure it's gonna work. Let's see. Yeah, it's about, if you squint, it's about the same value. So what I want to do, I'm going to add some of this warm yellow to my, yeah, that's actually the color I want. I added some warm yellow to my base color. I don't want it too pink. So I'm going to stir in a little bit more. This is probably the right color. All right, so now that I've got that, I can start picking out a few highlights here, and you'll be able to see a big difference. Because you've got your mid-tone and your, look at that. That really pops. Your mid-tone, your base, and your highlight.
Certainly makes a big difference.
Yeah, I'm going to just add a smidge more of that yellow to get a final highlight. looks really good. And I'm making these little highlights pretty small. I don't want them to overpower the base color. Otherwise it's going to read as pink. And one of the other things I can do is if I don't like this highlight, just take a glaze of your original color and do that over the top. And it will knock it back down. Okay, let's do a little bit on her collar here. Now with her hair has orange highlights, not this pink. So we can add the sienna like I had. Well, there's really not that much sienna, but we can do it anyway. No, it's not. It's more of orange. Here, this is perfect. This is burnt orange. And then we can go to orange from that because that'll be a bridge for the two colors. So the first, I'm going to mix a little bit of my red with my burnt red with burnt orange, and I'm just going to hit with the side of my brush over the highlights of the hair where the kind of hair is becoming like a little bump. And then we're going to go into the pure burnt orange and wet blend that in. Alright, so that is, you can't see it as well as I can, but let's do this. Let's do this warm yellow and then glaze the orange, because let's see what happens when I do this. We'll glaze the burnt orange over it, so that way it won't be quite so manga-y. Maybe that's actually what we want. We'll see. And again, 2 steps up, 1 step down is the goal here. And we're just kind of using broad. This is more like non-metallic metal is how you're painting the hair. Because you're painting the reflections, not necessarily the hair, the individual hairs. I know it looks weird right now, but you'll see when I get the orange glazed over the top of it how cool it's going to look. If you squint, you can kind of start to see what I'm talking about here. So here's what I'm hoping. Now I'm going to take some of that burnt orange. I'm hoping that the yellow underneath, yeah, that's what it did. Yellow underneath the burnt orange gives it a brightness that it didn't have over the red. It's pretty. I'm going to thin it out just a little bit because it's a little bit bright. There we go. Do you understand what I'm doing? Good.
You know. Until the orange went on, it was a little bit.
Yeah, it looked weird, didn't it? Until you put the orange on, but you can see what it does. It makes a big difference and looks really pretty. Okay, now we go back to the orange. And I didn't want to put this on straight away, and I may need to knock this down as well. Wait, there's my other orange. We'll see what happens to this. I'm going to mix it with my burnt orange so it's not quite so crazy orange. Doing this in similar places with see how that looks? Isn't that pretty? Kind of doing a quick little overbrush here so that it just picks up. Isn't it pretty? I'm using the side of my brush to kind of hit those highlights of that hair.
Yeah, it actually looks more like hair now.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, we've got those pretty layers in there. Okay, hold on. I need to go back into her skin a little bit. I mixed my mahogany with
Ruby
that.
Lion just said hi to
What did she say?
Hi.
Hi, Ruby Lion. Welcome. Who all is watching from the Kingdom Death Discord? I put the notification in the Bylanders Light group and in the Discord. I didn't know who all would see it. Either way. All right. Okay, that's looking really nice. I'm gonna give her a little bit of blush on her cheeks. Need to blend that a little bit.
Steven. Sorry if I said your name wrong.
Ah, Kingdom Death Discord. Nice. Cool. That's cool. I want to be more active. I've been lazy about being active in there. Right now, I'm smoothing out like brush lines that I can see on her face. You probably can't see them at home, but I can see them, and they're distracting me quite a bit because it just makes her face look dirty. Okay, now we're going to paint the eyes, which is really going to make a big difference. She's got green eyes. So we're going to use this ivory, bright ivory that I've got. And I'm going to take off the glasses so I can paint these. I need to thin this out a little bit. That's better. So when I paint the sclera, I leave a little ring of that dark color around the edges. And I don't use white, I only use an ivory or an off-white of some kind. That looks good. I need to make sure to get this in here with her hair. Alright, let that dry completely. She does have eyebrow in here. I could have swore she had, yeah, she does have an eyebrow. There we go. Maybe it's not an eyebrow. She actually has, in the painting, she has these red eyelashes, which is really interesting. Okay. I think that is almost dry. Let's get a little bit. Notice that I'm turning the model to get the eyes just so. Oh, I made that too big. So I can go back in with a little bit of green. See if I can make that smaller. A little bit of burgundy. There. Okay, now for, oh, saved it. She did not fall in the paint. She jumped into the palette though. Thankfully, I grabbed her just in time. Okay, so you can see how I painted her eyes with there's a small ring around the edges. And I need a dark color. Black is probably what I'm going to use. Let's see if I can find some. I'm going to try this pure black from Instar. It might be too watery. I might have to switch. Let me see if I can shake it. And I just grabbed this because it was the first thing in front of me. You can use any black. Now I need a very tiny brush. I don't usually use tiny brushes. You can either use a really tiny brush or something with a really, really sharp point on it. Either way, you want it to be something where you can control it. And you can practice making small dots first before you mess with the eyes. So her eyes are sort of oval, but they're off to the side. I'm going to draw these on. It's actually easier to do eyes off to the side than it is to do eyes straight ahead, because they kind of look weird when they're straight ahead. Yeah, I like that. Now I'm going to flip her upside down to get the eyes just right, because then the brain is tricked into looking at it in a different way so that it looks more you'll be able to see if the eyes are even much better if it's upside down.
Purple Spy Dreaming wants you to paint the eyes on one of his minis.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I like that. That looks cute. And then feel like I need a magnifying glass, honestly. There's a little piece. Oh, that works. Do her eyes look okay to you guys? A little bit to the side. I think she needs like a something up here. Hold on. I think because she has a eyebrow on one eye, it makes it look like the other eye's a little bit off. Let's try to give her an eyebrow in here. This black is not working for me. Let's try this. That's better. That's better. Okay. I don't have a visor. I was going to see if I had. All right. Now we're going to do the green because she has green eyes and you want to pick the brightest green you can find so it will show up. I'm going to use this green. This is a bright yellow green. Yeah, when that Atlas mini comes out, it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be like. It looks really cool from what I've seen. There's a crazy Santa mini that they have. And his name is Atlas. Alright, so this eyeball goes on the inside, and you leave that little bit of that black on the edges. See, I need to... This is the wrong music for painting eyes. Hold on, let me find something serene. Oy vey. Wait, this one's good. This one is good. Okay. I'm going to get a different color of black because my black is not working for me. There. Did you hear that music? you were... It was the Japanese metal. Okay. Let's get the green in there.
Despite trimming that well, I meant Anius, not Atlas.
Oh, Anius, I haven't seen that one yet. Or maybe I have. I don't know. I've kind of gotten behind on things. Okay, that's pretty. Okay. Eyes are looking good. I'm going to mix a little bit of this.
Green doesn't look as harsh as it does in the
right, because it's so tiny.
It's a small amount.
It's so tiny, yeah, but that's why you want to use such a bright amount. Now, I'm just realizing that the card does not have her hair nearly as orangey as I am having it, so I might see what happens if I do a transparent red over the top. Let's see what happens. Over the top of it. It's transparent, so it should shine. Let's see what happens.
There's so Anius is the newly rebranded Anonymous Survivor.
Oh, they finally gave her a name. Okay. There we go. Yes, that red I liked a lot. So I'm putting that red over that orange. This is the transparent red from Acryl. And it's keeping her hair looking red, but also letting us have some of that shine from the orange underneath. That's pretty. Hair is another one of those things that is not matte. And so if you can get a little bit of satin on that as well, it will also look good. And I do believe that the transparents are a little satin. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of this peach and a little bit, put a little like shine on her lip. Just a tiny bit of this transparent red. So last thing I'm going to do with this, I need white for this part. This is the one place you'll put white, is on the little highlight reflections on her eyes, and sometimes it's hard to get this. This is probably one of you. Again, you need a super sharp brush. I know that there are miniature painters out there that they have a special brush that's only for this sort of thing, just to keep their brush pointed at all times. Is that the right brush? Yes, that's the right paint. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to just do a little dot. That's cute. I don't mind that. One of them's a little big, so I'm going to put a black pupil on that one. Okay. Flip her over and make sure that looks okay. Yep, that looks good. Whew. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little transparent red over her lip, bottom lip. Cute. And she's got a bronzy looking armor plate, which I'm going to look for some metallic brown, which I think I've got. Yeah, my metallics are over here. You gotta find the right one. That's copper. That would, nope. I might have to use a different one. I can't seem to find. Here's decayed metal. I want something lighter. Darkstar. I've got a Darkstar. This is nice. This is aged copper for her chest armor. I like metallic metals, even though Kingdom Death tends to look a little better with non-metallic metal, but it's mine. I can paint it how I want. And I actually like
mix. Yeah, you mix the two, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like to. Actually, I was just thinking that this one would actually look really good mixed. I did that on a few models before. On the Aries model was a mixture of metallic, demi-metallic metal, basically. I like how there's a lion. There's a little lion emblem on the center of her armor. The symbology and they're really consistent with the symbology in Kingdom Death. Let's see if there's any other metal areas. Yeah, she's got these little spike things are also the same color. You can see a few print lines, but I think if you put enough coats of paint on it, it will hide the print lines. This is the lantern armor. That makes sense. Okay, so this is funny. I just realized that these little spiky things are the tops of lanterns that she's made into armor. I'm really surprised that they didn't give her boobs like the spiky too. I mean, I wouldn't put them past them. Okay, there's a ring.
The 80s Madonna.
What?
The spiky.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I think
Bit Madonna.
they decided not. I bet you one of the drafts had something like that, and they were like, let's not. Lantern armor is all forged from scrap lanterns. Yeah. You always get scared of fixing yellows and oranges with red out of fear of the dreaded ketchup and mustard result. Yeah, so that's the thing, is this transparent red. It's like it's a regular paint, but it's a transparent paint. So you won't get that ketchup and mustard look, because it really will tint it red, but it'll have that stained glass kind of effect. All right, that is looking good. I don't have any pictures of her legs to look at. I'll have to look at the website and see if they had a full picture of her legs anywhere. I'm guessing that it's all this color of the lanterns, because even this down here looks like lanterns. Oh, this is going to be such a pretty model. And here's these brass rings. And yeah, this is way easier to paint with metallic metals than if I were going to go in here with non-metallics.
Yeah, I struggle with the non-metallic.
I got some.
I struggle with it all, but non-metallic. Yeah.
I got some of the metallics on her skin in between the rings, so I can go back in and fix that. That's an easy fix. I didn't do my stretch, did I?
No.
Just completely ignored it.
Oh, have you doing?
All right, give me a second. I'm going to do a little stretch break. We can take a look at that. Now, I feel like her eyes are bugging me, because in the picture, she's looking a little bit more straight on, and in mine, she's like, let me see if I can't adjust that just a smidge. I don't know if that made it better or not. We'll see. We gotta let that dry. Now her fur color is this beige color. I think I'm going to mix it with the colors I already have. And so I took some of this yellow here with some of the sienna. Take a little bit of green, just a smidge. And a little bit of more yellow. There we go. That's my beigey color. That's going to be the base for it. And what's nice is when you take colors, instead of adding another color from your paint rack, by taking colors that are already on your palette and mixing them into a new color, it's automatically going to be harmonious with the paint that is already on your palette because it's made of it. Does that make sense?
It does.
This is probably going to need a few coats. Did anybody here in chat, have anybody gotten this painter's painter scale Aya yet? Or any of the other painter scales for that matter?
Well, I certainly haven't.
Yeah, you don't get Kingdom Death. I like that color.
Even but I haven't gotten anywhere.
Mm-hmm. You haven't gotten anywhere near painting her. And then Purple says, I plead the fifth in regards to my oh, Purple, you do not need to worry. I mean, I have stuff that I have yet to get painted from 2015. So you do not need to be ashamed, and here is safe. That's a big reason why when I stream, a lot of times I'm painting Kingdom Death is because it's a way for me to get my own stuff done. And a lot of times I'll put even after I finish it, I'll put the model up for sale because I've made a promise I would only actually collect the knights, and that way I wouldn't have just this giant hoard. It helps keep me from buying. Sometimes stuff like this comes along. And I'm like, oh, but it's only it's limited. They're only going to have so many. Even though she's 3D printed, and they could essentially paint infinite amounts of her. A little water. Watch what happens when I get the rest of this, you know, in here and cleaned up. It's going to look so good. The other thing is that if you, you know, if I do this, now that I have this new stream set up, it's way more attractive to me to be streaming more often. We can try to do something regular where, you know, you can come on here and paint along with me while I'm painting and just have somebody to keep you accountable. All right, hold on a second. I gotta mix some more of this. What did I use? I used a little bit of the burnt orange, I think, or maybe it was sienna. I can't remember. I'm gonna put sienna in there. And then I put a little bit of green, probably too much green. Let's do a little bit more of that. There we go. And then I had a bunch of yellow. There we go. Yeah, so if it's that brown, that means there needs to be more sienna in it. There. And if it needs more, it needs to be lighter. It needs to have more yellow. You think you've picked up all the painter scale stuff so far, and this will be a nice video to come to. Yay! I'm so glad. Yeah, I'll post this in... I'll post the VOD of it in the Discord so that you can just look it up easily. Post it in the Lanterns Light Facebook group as well. Ah, she's flying again.
The life of her own.
Mm-hmm. This, the back of her is a little bit more rough texture-wise. So if you want to get rid of that texture, put a layer of gloss medium over it before you paint it, and you'll get rid of a lot of those print lines really nicely. Might have to go back in here and repaint some of my lantern tops. This is just the beigey base for this. It'll get some highlights and look really nice. Okay. Now that we're getting more color on her, you can really see how the model's going to look. Yes, the original plastics instead are original. Yes, those are original. Yeah, I count the big ones as painter scale as well. The big 54 millimeter ones. I think that's very fair. Okay, made a new color of brown with the sienna. Let's see how this looks.
And now you got the other colours on, so it makes a huge.
Yeah,
See it better
it
overall.
really makes a big difference, doesn't it? Now, one of the things you're not seeing right now is the delineation between each of the things. So we'll have to go in and either dark line or put a wash in to help you get, everything is all kind of one mush color right now. Which I'm going to get rid of in a minute here. And she's got a really dark brown stocking, which that I will go ahead and let me see what happens when I mix. I can get a dark brown with green and red, and so if I mix this burgundy with this, yep, there's my dark brown. We just need a little bit more burgundy in there. There we go. Like I said, always try to mix before you grab another color. Use a little bit more red. Let me add a little bit of the transparent red in here. Green, green, green. There we go. Now there's little holes in the stockings. I'm painting right over them right now because I want to get the base color down first, and then I can come back with details over the top of the holes in a minute. This is a really cute model. I'm so glad. You know, it's funny, like you get a model and you're kind of like, I think it'll be okay. But then when you really paint it, it changes everything, and you ended up loving it. That's kind of what is happening with me in this model. Is when I first saw her, I was like, she's okay. But now I'm really enjoying her. When you make it yours, that's the point. If you're not having fun painting models, then you're doing it wrong. Okay. It's looking good. Okay, now I want to show you something here. We're going to use the transparents to shade. Now in the artwork, look at this. There's greens. There's a little bit of red. There's all these really pretty colors. So let me see what happens here. Let me take a little bit of this green. Just very thinly, thin. This is how thin it is. See how transparent it is? I'm gonna take this over there. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. Just over the metals, especially in the shadowed parts. I'm going to take some more green. I feel like there might be, instead of red, maybe a little tint of purple. Let me get this transparent purple. That's blue. And also you can mix these transparents a little bit, like there's a transparent brown. Ooh, yeah. Oop, sorry guys. That's the first time I've really knocked the camera since I've streamed this today. That's a big, I used to knock the camera all the time. Okay, here's the brown. I'm gonna spread that down here. Just a smidge of this purple. You want the metal to shine through. That's what happens when I mix the green with the purple. What happens? Ooh, I get a real pretty teal color. That actually works real nice. Yes. That's exactly the color I needed. This is matching. I'm going to show you. This is matching the artwork too. These transparents are really amazing when it comes to metallic metals. Look at that. Okay. And let that dry. I am in love. I found a spot I missed with the red. And I need more mahogany. Dark flesh. Let's use that instead. This is a new color from Acryl. This dark flesh. I know. Did you like that? The way that metal came out? Look at that.
It does look good.
It really. I haven't even done the highlighting yet on the metal. I want to let it dry. There we go. So.
Does it take longer to dry when it goes over the metallic or?
No, it's about the same. It's pretty nice.
Well, I've just been grazing on about a ton of chocolate for Christmas.
Yes.
I'm gonna regret it.
Completely forgot the inside of her leg here. That's going to make a difference. Little green. Try to wet blend that in. Sorry, I was a little bit farther away here.
Purple sponge is leaving.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, purple's leaving. Okay. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna grab some of this and just go over the whole boot with this metallic because I really love how that looks with the transparent. So especially this is a really nice technique to be able to use for people who aren't that good at non-metallic metal. I know I'm not sometimes. And I kind of, boy, I burnt myself out on the non-metallic metal for a minute with the what was it, the Ezra. That model was all non-metallic metal. Okay.
Do you use a specific brush for the metal? Like
I should, but I don't. I'm a lot of people do because and it is a good idea and best practice too, because the metal flakes do get caught up in your brush. It's just don't do what I do is basically, yeah. But yeah, I just always use the same brushes, and it messes up my brushes eventually, but That's one of those things. I'm hard on brushes in general, and so I kind of feel like, what's the point for me to switch brushes? Because I'm going to be hard on the brush whether or not I switch it. All right, that looks really awesome. Get some of these details. Just those little details, they make such a huge difference even early on. More paint. Okay. I think this is going to make a real nice video to watch and replay because of, like I said, because you can see it so well on camera compared to some of the smaller stuff that I do. And with the new setup too.
Just gonna say with the clarity.
Oh, this is a piece of lantern. Okay, so let me show you some of the highlighted bits on the metal. I think I got all the leg. No, I didn't get all the leg done. Just a second. All right. Oop, I wasn't supposed to paint that. That's all right. Okay, so the highlights. Let me go back to my metals here. We've got, so if I look at the art card, it's not a gold. It's more of a, like a light bronze, which I do have. I just tore my glove. Is that a light bronze? That's an antique gold. That might be close. There's a platinum. Here. No, that's not it. I think just antique. It's still a little bit. We can mix this with the platinum. I think this with the platinum will be good. Or here's actually.
Do a Regency gold, which is called.
Regency? Let me find it. Regency, I feel like Regency is too yellow. See, this is the Renaissance gold, and it's, if I mix this with the aged gold, or sorry, aged copper, we'll get the color I want. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's actually probably already the color that I want, but if I mix it, I can get it for sure to look good. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. There we go. That's it. Somewhere right in the middle. And then we'll use the just the
Well, you're the
Renaissance.
professional on the amateur.
What?
So that's why you're the professional on the amateur.
Look at that. And all I'm doing is sort of like a, almost just like a little bit of a dry brush over some of the spots there. Okay, I do see just the faintest amount of transparent. Maybe it's the purple. No, let's see. Just do a little bit of transparent red in here. Because what happens is metal is going to take on some of the reflective highlights of the cloth. So that's why I'm seeing there is red. And I just made the thinnest amount. Yeah, that looks really good. And I'm thinking I'm taking the black and I'm just doing a dark line. Thin line, she does have a little scratch right here. And I'm just going underneath all of the areas with the flat black, just a little bit. That will help these shadows look actually more realistic.
Basically defining the place.
Yeah. Let me do so that gold you were talking about, I think that would look good on her. It's antique gold. Where's the Regency gold? Hold on, let me find it. That one. Did I put it back? I think I put it back. Brass. Regency here. Yes, Regency for the actual gold things on her. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Take a look at this. Isn't that pretty?
3-4 seconds.
Yeah, it's coming along really nice now. And it looks like there's a gray color for her hilt with a little blue in it. I'm going to use this turquoise that we made with the purple. And then I need to desaturate it with some black. Yeah. There. That's the color. I needed to add a little red to it. There we go. My glove split. I cut it. You don't want to see my hangnails though, so I'm going to keep it on. Alright, that's awesome. Alright, so on all of the lantern pieces now, she's got that. I'm going to use that same turquoise that I just used. give those guys depth. Yeah, that looks awesome.
You need it to be a bit darker anyway because of the OSL and the
Right.
ambient light on the face.
Yeah. There's a little bit of gold down here. And that's actually probably the light like you're talking about that's on there. Well, I'm using that Regency gold on here now to reflect that light. She's going to have that lantern. But I lost all my shadows. And the thing is, the more light there is, the darker the shadows are. So we're going to add some shadow back in here. So all of these have to be really nice and contrasty. To contrast that bright light that's hitting them. Put a little more color in there again. Okay, hold on, let me grab her arm. She's got a like a scythe type of thing. I don't know what this is, like a scythe lantern. So that's gonna go there, and you can see on her leg I'm gonna need to do some airbrushing because I don't think I'll be able to get anything so smooth with that. But just to show you how I'm gonna paint this OSL here is I've got her ball already painted white with the primer, so that way I can come over it with the yellow. Yellow is already a transparent color, but I mean, this is the warm yellow. It's one of my favorite colors, new colors that they've made, is this warm yellow. Okay, so that, and then because it's a sphere, there's going to be a hot center, which we're going to make, and I'm going to just do little dots so that it's blended better with white. Brighter and brighter in the middle as I add more and more white. Let it dry in between.
Are you using a white or ivory?
White. Because it's a hot center, it's like basically a little flame, but since it's a sphere, we have to act like it's like... Here, I'm going to show you on the art card. Can you see on the art card how it is?
Yeah.
And if I do it in little dots, like I said, your eye will blend it. You won't have to fight the blending quite as much. Okay. And then for the rest of this, I think this is how This is the metallic color again, the metallic brown. And I'm just very carefully going around the edges of that. Okay. It's gonna, because it's so nice and dark, it will really make that look much more like a glow. It's already got the contrast it needs. A little fleur-de-lis. I'm wondering if I wonder if they do the concept art first or the sculpting first. Probably the concept art. I know that with my own models, by doing the concept art, it makes it easier for the sculptor to go much faster. Less back and forth between me and the sculptor too. Speaking of sculpting, I got another model coming out probably in February. The box art is going to be done by Elizabeth Beckley Bradford, so she's going to work on that in January. So that I'm hoping it's done in time for a February release.
Which model is that?
That's the Demon Librarian. Yes. Oh, yay, Loveless. Yeah. Do you want to see a little quick sneak peek of the demon? Hold on, I'll go get it. There's the beginning of the ball. I'm going to probably need to blend in some of that white a little bit more. Actually, let me do that right now. I'm going to just do a glaze of that yellow over the top. This would probably be, they make it transparent white. This would probably be a good place for it. Okay, I'm going to get the demon and show him to you. You'll see why Elizabeth's the first person who's going to be the best to paint him. Okay, so he comes with two separate heads, one with glasses and one without. I currently have the glasses on him. He also has this little bookcase. Look at that. And he reminds me of Distracted, but a little bit different. Wait, he put his head on right. There we go. He's shushing. And he's got hoof boots and a Chesterfield with little pillows on it. His tail's already molded into it. But yeah, that's going to be available in February. And like I said, he'll have two heads. This bookcase is an add-on, so if you don't want to make a diorama, you don't have to get the bookcase, because already this Chesterfield's going to be a chunk of resin. But yeah, I'm so excited. I'll be posting more of him on my socials in the upcoming weeks. Maybe even hopefully see if Liz wants to post whips while she's working on it. Looks like a comfy fella. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Let's get some white over here. Let's do some yellow. I'm experimenting here with what happens if I put yellow on top of the white. And then kind of go back and forth with it. Well, like that. I think that looks good. Now yellow. Let's let that dry and see how that ends up. The white is starting, it's like drying a little bit lighter than it actually is when it's wet, which is not unheard of. Ooh. Let's do this. Let me check what the time is. It is 4:51. So we started at 2:30.
Yeah.
This is longer. This is a longer stream than I've done in a long time. And I honestly think it's because of I'm comfortable and not having to, you know, stretch my head, and you know what I'm saying, like the way I had my stream last time was not nearly as comfortable. All right, let's take a look at her one more time. I think I'm going to do a little bit of dark lining. Let's do a little bit of Agrex or shade as a wash. It'll be a little quicker. You can put it.
You still get the same effect by doing.
Yeah. I'm just trying to put it at the bottom of these rings here. Separate the rings, put it on this belt. I should try, so they just came out with some new Pro Krills. I'm not sure where I put them though. The new Pro Krill washes. Oh wait, maybe they're over here.
There they go. Black, brown, and flesh.
Black, brown, yeah. I have them all. I don't know where they are. Purple. They're not. Yeah, they're not there. I put a bunch of new colors. Oh, here they are. Here's the black wash. I'm going to use this brown wash. I'm scared to use the black wash straight off. Okay, good. That's right. So, because this is a liquid, I don't want to use I want to use my little wavy. I don't have the wavy handy, but I have this little dish I can put it in. Maybe this one doesn't. This one's sealed. Oh, that's the black wash. That's why. Well, let's try the black wash and see. Ooh, that's dark. That's the brown. Ooh, I like that too. They're both dark. It's nice. Let me see what happens when I put the black on the cape. Ooh, look at that. Don't even need to shade it. Just put on a wash. I am very nice. I'm very happy with that. So if you didn't know, I'm sponsored by Acryl, and you can go to Acryl, and there's actually a code you can use to get 10% off your order. It's Shoshie sent me. Hold on a second, and I believe that's word. I think in my YouTube description we usually try to put an affiliate link. We'll make sure we put one in this one. Yeah, I'm pleased with this brown. I'm very pleased with it. We'll see how it dries, but just going on wet is looking good enough for me. Yeah. When it dries, we can come back and highlight and stuff. What happens if I add some black in here to some of the, ooh yeah, darker shadows. I say between the washes and the transparents, you can really get the exact shadows that you want with this. Now, this is not done. I mean, I have a lot to do still, but I think this is a good time to stop. And depending on how I feel, I might do another stream very soon. And I'll keep painting her too, because I don't have any rush to paint her. So she's not a commission. I can save her, and you'll be able to see the full.
Would be nice to see it.
Yeah, see it from start to finish. I will say it will be difficult to stop painting on her because she is a lot of fun. All right, let's see here. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. And if you want me to do this again, and you want to see the more of this model being painted, or more of me streaming more Kingdom Death in the future, leave me a message somewhere, either on my social media or on the Discord, to let me know just what you think. And yeah, let's go ahead and do our little outro. Here we go.
Thanks for the stream.
Yeah, thanks so much. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good night.
Go get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it, the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. 'Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch your glow.